Imagine waking up one day and realizing you don't need to work anymore, not because you're rich, not because you retired, but because AI and robots have reached a point where human labor is optional. That's the future Elon Musk says is just 10 to 20 years away, and his latest comments have reignited one of the biggest debates of our time. Musk's vision underscores a future where human labor may no longer be a necessity for survival, with automation and AI potentially reshaping global economies and societal structures. Musk, during a conversation with Zerodha co-founder Nikhil Kamath on the People by WTF podcast, released on Sunday, November 30th, said his prediction is that, in the future, working will be optional. People can play this back in 20 years and say it was wrong, but he thinks it will be correct. In less than 20 years, maybe even 10 or 15, advances in AI and robotics will bring us to a point where working is optional, Musk said. To illustrate his vision, Musk compared future work to the choice of growing vegetables at home versus buying them from a store. The world's richest person said that in the same way that you can grow your own vegetables or go to a shop and buy them, it's much harder to grow your own. Some people enjoy it, which is fine, but it is optional. That is how he sees work in the future. Musk further noted that technological advances could make goods and services readily available to everyone. Musk said he was confident that if AI and robotics continue to advance, and given that they are advancing very fast, working will be optional, and people will have any goods and services they want. If you can think of it, you can have it. Musk had made a similar prediction about AI and robotics.
Right, shalom, I'm giving up praise unto Abashima, Shabashim, Korash. Abon is under the apostles of great millstone, and the honest brothers that be pushing his truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above everybody are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim, Shabashim, Korash. Giving up praise unto Abashima, Shabashim, Korash. It's going to be a relatively quick video based upon the clip that we've just seen. And the purpose of this particular video is to speak about the MOTB that's spoken about within the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, 16th verse on down. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a charagma, that he should buy no sell save he that has the charagma. And indeed that's speaking about the MOTB system. And we also have to consider the infrastructure that's going to be laid out, and as we've just seen, being laid out before you, right before your eyes. The idea of not having to work is not a new idea, but rather it goes back onto what they're trying to achieve with their new universal basic income, okay, which is all part of the MOTB system. So as you've just seen, and I think it's a good place to stop it there, where you can see what allegiance that he has and where these ideas are coming from. You know, he's got the I forget the exact sign of this, but that's the Masonic hand gesture that you're seeing right there. So let's get into the meat and bones, the meat and bones of this particular video. What do we need to know? What do we need to understand? Well, firstly, let's go into prophecy. What does the prophecy say? Prophecy is scriptures. The scriptures speak expressly about a time when there was going to be no work, neither for the head nor tail. Slowly, we're seeing that creep in the advent of artificial intelligence, and slowly we're seeing that creep in the advent of these economies being crashed, which are two sides of the same coin. One, to crash the economy to usher in a new system, and the second side is the AI system being laid out, the framework for the new system to be embraced, for one of a better way of phrasing it. So indeed those prophecies are going to come to pass. Ecclesiastes tells us the grinding shall cease, and you know, the grinding is dealing with millstone. Within the ancient world, you had a mill. You used to grind the powder, sell the fine flour to another, in exchange for another good, and so on and so forth. Okay, I'm not going to go too far down into that rabbit hole, but you get the point I'm trying to say here. That work that you had before, using America as an example, that productivity that you had before, if a robot's not doing it, which is going to be cheaper to maintain, there's no healthcare, there's no downtime, so to speak. If a robot can't do it, if a robot's not doing it, then it's going to be outsourced to another country to make it to where these things are cheap. So how does that tie into the MOTB system? Well, we understand the world that they envision, there's not going to be a lot of people left. So when you're watching this video, you're thinking that there's going to be 7 billion, 8 billion, 12 billion people upon the face of the earth that's just going to be chilling, enjoying the earth. No, that's not what they're ushering in. What they're ushering in and what they're speaking about is a handful of people, namely the elites, chilling, relaxing, enjoying the earth, and the vast majority of the people upon the face of the earth, they want to destroy. And that's why it's important to have the AI system in place to monitor and track the people that do remain after they enact their World War III upon the face of the earth. And really, it's the most size World War III. But after they do that, they really don't want a whole bunch of people upon the face of the earth, as far as they're concerned, because they live on a scarcity mindset. They only want a handful of people upon the face of the earth. And the rest of the work that they want doing, whether it be, you know, creating a car and making a car, manufacturing, that's going to be done with the AI. And again, it goes back onto that statement I was making. What need will they have in that future, that utopia, for a whole bunch of people? It's not going to be a whole bunch of people upon the face of the earth, man. It's not going to be a whole bunch of people on the face of the earth. And this is what we're getting into. So what points do we want to take from this video? What conclusions do we want to come to? Well, the AI and the robotics ain't going nowhere. The AI and the robotics is all part of the infrastructure that they're setting up for their world, their utopia of a few people left upon the face of the earth. I'll phrase it like that. That's their utopia. Not a whole bunch of people upon the face of the earth. Okay, just them, handful of people, and yeah, a handful of slaves, and let the robots do the rest. And the few people that are left, it's going to be the book of Revelations, 13th chapter, and the 16th verse that they want to have as a means of controlling them. And really, that goes into Esau's God complex. He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to be like Yahweh Hashem Hashem Kodash. Control, track, monitor, right? That's all the Most High's power. Okay, that's all the Most High's power. He wants to be that. He wants to be that God upon the face of the earth. Okay, so you've seen it. You heard it from the devil's mouth. Work is going to be optional. What's going to be the currency of that day? Universal basic income. What's going to be the means of distributing that universal basic income? Because you ain't going to work to collect Federal Reserve notes. You're going to be at home. You're going to have the digital dollars going into your digital wallet. And what's going to be the system by which those things are going to be monitored, tracked, okay, programmed? It's going to be the MOTB system, right, with the central bank digital currencies. Okay, so hopefully that's been of edification. With Amaseo praise unto Abashim Shabashim Kohash, double honors unto the apostle, the great millstone, and the honest brothers that be pushing these truths in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.